Good morning, year 8. Today we're going to solve specimen 2014. I will give you 30 minutes to solve it and then we will correct it together. Number 1. The giant panda lives in China. The diagram shows a simple food web involving the panda. Name one producer in the food web. Water plants, correct, or bamboo plant? Choose anyone. B. Name one primary consumer in the food web. Primary consumer, it can be snail or giant panda. And it's better to write snails, but both are correct. C. Use the information in the food web to explain why the panda is described as an omnivore. Omnivore means that it eats both plant and meat. So it's an omnivore because the panda eats both animals and plants. It eats both bamboo plant and fish. D. What do the arrows in the food web show? The transfer of energy or the energy flow. Both are correct. E. Many of the bamboo forests in China are being cut down. This is causing the panda population to decrease. Suggest why. The bamboo forests mean that the bamboo plants will decrease. So this is causing the panda population to decrease. Suggest why. First, because there will be not enough food for the panda, and the panda will lose their habitat, so there is no shelter for the panda. They will lose their shelter and food. Number 2. This list shows properties that different materials can have. Write down the letter of the property that answers each of these questions. A. Which two properties from the list make aluminium suitable for cooking pans? Cooking, so of course it should be a good conductor of heat and it has very high melting point. So the answer is C and E. B. Which property from the list explains why a lot of oxygen gas can be pumped into a very small container? Of course, because gas can be compressed. So the answer is B. C. Which property from the list explains why plastic makes a good material for the handle of a kettle? Because it's a poor conductor of heat, so the answer is F. The last one, which property from the list explains why rubber is used to cover electrical wiring? Because it's a non-conductor of electricity, so the answer is H. So again, first C and E, then B, then F, then H. Number 3. A student whistled 3 notes into a microphone connected to an oscilloscope. An oscilloscope shows the shape and size of a sound wave. The diagram shows the waves for whistle 1 and whistle 2. Complete the following. I, the amplitude of whistle 1 is, look at the oscilloscope. The amplitude of whistle 1 is, amplitude is the height of the wave, so it's less than the amplitude of the whistle 2. Double I, the wavelength of whistle 1 is, wavelength means the distance between two crests or two troughs. So here, whistle 1 and whistle 2, the distance is similar. So the wavelength of whistle 1 is the same as the wavelength of whistle 2. B. The diagram shows the waves for whistle 2 and whistle 3. Compare the loudness and pitch of whistle 2 and whistle 3. Okay, first the loudness. Which whistle is louder? We'll compare the amplitude. So of course, whistle 2 is louder than whistle 3. And the pitch depends on the frequency. Here the frequency at whistle 3 is higher, so it has a higher pitch. So whistle 3 has a higher pitch, or whistle 2 has a lower pitch. Number 4. Use the key to identify this coral reef fish. Okay, we will follow the identification key. First, the shape is very long and very thin, or the shape is not long and thin. What do you think? The shape is not long and thin. Go to number 3. Eyes on top of head, eyes each side of head. Look at the picture. It's on each side. So we'll go to number 5. Has stripes, doesn't have stripes? Yes, it has. So go to number 6. Has dark tips to fins and tail, doesn't have dark tips to fins and tail. Look at the diagram. It has dark tips, so it's clown fish. The coral reef fish is a clown fish. Number 5. The diagram shows the particle arrangement in a liquid. Draw the particle arrangement in a solid. Okay, the solid, the particles are tightly packed. So you have to draw the particles tightly packed with no air spaces between them. B. Angelique puts 5 drops of a liquid perfume on the back of her hand. A few seconds later, Angelique can smell the perfume. This is because the perfume diffuses into her nose. Complete the sentence about diffusion. In diffusion, the perfume moves from an area of high or low concentration. Of course, it's from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Double I. Explain using the particle theory of matter how diffusion takes place. Diffusion takes place because the gas particles can move freely and spread out. The gas particles can move freely and spread out. Number 6. Ahmed makes a prediction about the planets in the solar system. Prediction 1. The time to orbit the sun increases the further away the planet is from the sun. To find evidence to support his prediction, he uses the internet. The table shows the information he needs. Does the information in the table support prediction 1? Look at the table. The time to orbit the sun in Earth years. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. As we move from Mercury to Mars, the time taken increases. So his prediction is correct. Explain your answer. Choose any information from the table. For example, Mercury takes 0.2 Earth years to orbit the sun, while Venus takes 0.6 Earth years to orbit the sun, and Venus is further apart than Mercury. Or you can compare Earth and Mars, and you can choose any of the planets and compare them. And at the end, write this means that as the distance increases, the time taken to orbit the sun increases. B. Ahmed makes another prediction. The average surface temperature of a planet decreases the further away the planet is from the sun. Does the information in the table support prediction 2? Look at the table. He said that the temperature decreases the further away from the sun. Okay, Mercury 169, Venus 460, Earth 14, Mars 63. So the information here doesn't follow his prediction. So does the information in the table support prediction 2? No. Explain your answer. Look at the table. Here, Earth is cooler than Mars, although it's closer to the sun, and Venus is hotter than Mercury, although it's further from the sun. Ahmed thinks he needs more evidence related to prediction 2. Suggest one extra piece of evidence he could use. He already compared 4 planets only, so he needs to gather information about more planets. And also to find another source to check the information gathered. He should find another source and compare or check the information gathered. C. Ahmed correctly predicts he will weigh more on Earth than on Mars. Explain how the information in the table supports his prediction. Look at the table. Relative mass compared to Earth 0.05, 0.81, Earth 1, Mars 0.11. This means that, okay, the mass only is not enough. You have to check also the strength of gravity. 3.7, 8.9, 9.8, 3.7. Compare the strength of gravity between Earth and Mars. Earth 9.8 and Mars 3.7. So his prediction is correct because the strength of gravity is higher on Earth than Mars. The strength of gravity is higher on Earth than Mars. That's why his weight will be more on Earth. Number 7. Christina has 5 chickens. Here is some information about her chicken. Christina wants to increase the number of eggs per year by using selective breeding. She will select the chickens that she wants to breed them together. Which 2 chickens should she breed together? Look at the table. She wants to increase the number of eggs per year, so she will choose which 2 chickens to breed together. Of course, she should choose female and males. That's why lamb should be chosen because it's the only male. Okay, pay attention. This is the trick, that the lamb is the only male. So, of course, she should choose lamb and which female? Cow, because the number of eggs per year for cow is 130 and it's the highest number. So, the 2 chickens are cow and lamb. Double I. Christina chooses chickens to breed from the offspring. Which ones should she choose? After the first offspring from cow and lamb, she will choose another 2 to breed together. She should choose which ones? Of course, the ones that produce the most eggs. She will choose the ones that produce the most eggs. B. Other qualities can be used when selectively breeding chickens. She already chose the ones that produce most eggs. Take the 2 qualities that are most useful. Size of eggs, amount of milk produced, low life expectancy, number of feathers, color of feathers, resistance to disease. What else? She should choose what? Of course, the size of eggs, and to be resistant to disease. So the answer, size of eggs and the resistance to disease. Number 8. Rocks in the earth crust are classified by the way that they are formed. Complete the sentences about rock formation. A. Which rocks are formed when molten lava from a volcano cools down? When the molten lava cools down, igneous rocks. B. Rocks are made from grains of rock that are cemented together. The layers of the rock cemented together, so of course it's the sedimentary rocks. C. Rocks are made when heat and pressure change other types of rocks. Heat and pressure, so they are the metamorphic rocks. And the last one, rocks are found in layers and often contains fossils. They contain fossils and they are found in layers, so they are sedimentary rocks. So again, A, igneous, B, sedimentary, C, metamorphic, D, sedimentary. Number 9. The diagram shows part of an electromagnet. Write down the names of part A and part B. A is the coil or wire, and B is the core, the magnet core. So A is coil or wire, B is the core. B. Write down the material used to make each part. Part A, of course, the wire is made up of copper. It's a copper wire, so part A is made up of copper. And B is the core or the magnet. It is made up of iron. So A, copper, and B, iron. Number 10. 4 diets can cause health problems. Draw a line between the diet and the health problem. Too much sugar will cause what? Heart disease, tooth decay, high blood pressure, little energy, poor growth. Too much sugar, of course, will cause tooth decay. Too much salt. Salt will cause high blood pressure. Too little protein. Protein is important for the growth, so too little protein will affect the growth, so it causes poor growth. Too little carbohydrate. It's important for the energy, so too little carbohydrate, the problem will be little energy. B. Shannon and Mike look at information about the amount of fat and fiber in different fruits. Name the 2 fruits with the highest amount of fiber. The highest amount of fiber here is the pineapple, then the banana. So it's pineapple and banana. Why is fiber important in the diet? It's important for the bowel movement to prevent constipation. It's important for a proper bowel movement to prevent constipation. Triple I. Write one conclusion about the amount of fat found in fruits. Conclusion about the amount of fats. Look at the table. 0.10, 0.1. This means that fruits contain very little fats. Fruits contain very little amount of fats. IV. Mike thinks the information in the table is not a fair comparison because the fruits are different shapes. Lee thinks it is not a fair comparison, but he knows that the shape of the fruit is not important. What measurement do they need to make it a fair comparison? The shape is not important. What is the important thing? We have to compare the amount of fat or fiber in each fruit according to what? the mass of the fruit. And for example, it has 1.2 grams of fiber. The apricot has 1.2 grams of fiber. What is the mass of the apricot? So that I can compare the apricot with the banana. So the important measurement is the mass or the size of the fruit. Number 11. Sophia investigates the reaction between magnesium ribbon and dilute sulfuric acid. In each experiment, Sophia uses 25 cubic centimeters of sulfuric acid. She records the temperature of the acid and then adds some magnesium ribbon. When the magnesium has finished reacting, she records the temperature of the acid again. Sophia does this experiment 6 times. Each time she uses a different length of a magnesium ribbon. Look at Sophia's results. Put her results, including the temperature changes, into a table. So, draw a table with 4 headings because you have to calculate the change in temperature. The first heading is the length of the magnesium ribbon in centimeter. The second one, temperature before in degrees Celsius, then temperature at the end in degrees Celsius, then temperature change. The first one, 1 centimeter, temperature at the start or before 20, at the end 22, the change in temperature 2. Then the length of 2, temperature 21, at the beginning, at the end 25, and the change is 4. Length in centimeters 3, the temperature before is 21, after is 27, the change in temperature is 6. Then the length of 4 centimeter, temperature before is 21, after is 26, and at the end is 5. The change in temperature is 5. Length in 5 centimeter, at the start 21, at the end 31, and the change is 10. And the last one, the length of 6 centimeter, at the start it was 22, at the end 34, and the change is 12. Okay, B. One set of readings is an anomalous result. Which set? What is meant by anomalous first? The result that doesn't fit the pattern. So look at the table and tell me which one is incorrect. Compare the temperature change. Of course, it's the result for 4 centimeter. It's incorrect because the temperature change is increasing, 2, then 4, then 6. So 5 is incorrect. The result for 4 centimeter is incorrect. The reaction between magnesium and sulfuric acid releases energy. What is the name given to a reaction that releases energy? Releases energy, so it's an exothermic reaction. Okay, number 12. Hassan does an experiment to find the maximum friction force between a wooden block and different surfaces. Here are his results. A. Name the apparatus Hassan uses to measure the friction force. To measure any force, we use force meter. We use a force meter or Newton meter. B. Hassan repeated the measurements for each surface 3 times. Explain why. Any repetition is for getting a reliable results. To get a reliable results. C. Calculate the average friction force for the glass experiment. Look here is the glass experiment. Test 1 9.3, test 2 9.6, test 3 10.2. To know the average, we have to add the 3 results, 9.3 plus 9.6 plus 10.2, and divide them by their number, divided them by 3, so the average equals 9.7 newtons. D. Circle the one anomalous reading in the table. Look at the table and try to find out the anomalous reading. Carpet 24.5, 32.6, 26.4. So test 2 for the carpet is not following the pattern is 24.5, 26.4. Somehow they are close, while 32.6 is not close, so this may be the anomalous result. Circle 32.6. Okay, this was the last question. Please count and check your mistakes and count your mark out of 50. Thank you so much.